Oh, got that one too. That's a better one. That's a good one. Oh, come on. Nope. That is a good fish. For here, at least. Welcome back, everybody. So today I'm insanely excited because we start the open water season. We're just in the transition of ice out right now. I don't know if you can tell, but half this lake is open up and the other half is kind of locked up by a couple inches of ice that'll, probably be going out in the next few days to maybe a week, depending on temperature. So I want to just talk today a little bit about where I find fish during ice out and the baits that I use for the most part. With ice out, typically the northern sides of your lakes are going to go ahead and thaw out first. Oh, there's one. Got one. But your northern sides of the lakes are going to kind of thaw out first, just because they get a little bit more direct sunlight. That was like my second cast. Got that swim bait down there. Just a tiny, tiny little mega bass. Can't get him unhooked. Super cold fish. There we go. First one of the year. A little skinny, but let him go. And she's off. Oh, there's another one. It scared another one around here. All right, well, that's great. But again, those northern sides of the lakes are going to thaw out first. So it's super easy to remember because obviously, you're like, that's just where you're going to be able to fish. So along with that, it's going to move a little bit warmer water along with it, and the bait and bass are going to follow. And then as far as baits go, my favorite bait is swim baits, just singles. I don't really go into the Alabama rig for a little while yet. Once ice out happens and the water starts warming just a tinge, I'll kind of switch on over to those Alabama rigs, so, for a little bit more aggressive fish. But right now I'm just using a 2.4 mega bass swim bait. I will go to the 3, especially depending on how much wind there is. And that's another factor too, is obviously your wind. Typically they're coming from the south right now, so it's going to kind of blow that warm water and warm up those areas on the north side a little bit quicker. So along with swim baits, whether you use a pre-built one or pre-molded like a mega bass or a ball head with like a kiteacker on it, regardless, they both work really, really well. I also like using jerk baits, with those long pauses, and lipless crankbaits. I love using those and doing the little bit of hops off the bottom. But I downsize to the 1/4 ounce ones, the same ones that I use for ice fishing, and they work really well too. Along with that, you can obviously use finesse, jigs, and then drop shots too work amazingly well. Ned rigs, they all work. And I guess as far as baits or colors go, I use the most natural colors I possibly can, just because I'm moving those baits so slowly right now, because the fish haven't gone super aggressive, and they have a long time to look at those baits. So, I'm going clears, browns, all that. I don't really get into the reds quite yet, until it gets a little bit closer to spring. But again, those fish have a long time to look at those baits just from how slow I'm moving them. So I want it to be as natural as possible. I am using a low gear ratio reel. So on top of me obviously reeling slowly, the reel is going to be a little bit slower also. So we got our first one already though, on like the second cast. So that's good news. Hopefully there's some bigger ones. That one was a little bit skinny. But as always, if you guys like the videos, if you wouldn't mind liking, and if you want to see more videos like it, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd be greatly appreciated also. Let's get after a couple more. Got him. Oh, had him. Shoot. He popped it and dropped it and came back and grabbed it again. Got it. It's a little bit better one. Ooh, barely in the corner. Barely. Well, that's the second one on our swim bait. Third bite, and not very long at all. Oh, there it goes. But we'll probably end up trying to switch up baits just to see if there isn't something else we can catch these fish on, and kind of show off some of the other lures. It is a little bit windy, so throwing a jerkbait might not be the easiest, but we'll definitely see what we can see if we can catch some fish on some other baits. Get one. Always feel bigger in a spinning rod. That was just throwing tiny little lipless that I use a lot of times in ice fishing. I don't even think it's a 1/4 ounce. I think it's an 8 ounce. And this is where the swim bait's much more fun. There we go. Train come through. Little guy. And again, that was just doing little pops on the bottom, and you know, a real slow reel to just keep bottom contact. This one just picked it up. A little bit healthier looking of fish, shorter, but a little stockier. See if we can catch another one on it, and then see if we need to go ahead and switch baits again. Again, it's just letting her go to the bottom, little baby pops, just to feel that vibration. And then between that and just a slow, real slow reel on the bottom, feeling for that bottom contact, and they'll just go and pick it up. But again, like I said before, you know, just super natural colors all the way across the board. This one's just a little, I wouldn't even say, oh, that was weeds. A little shad looking color, but first cast with the Agent E. Oh, lost him. That one smoked it though. I've been throwing other baits, but they're throwing them in the 20-mile-an-hour winds that we have today is not very easy. So just being able to throw the small swim baits that are 3/8 ounce, a lot easier. And that was the first cast, so hopefully we can catch a few more. Have to come back out here. Is that a fish? No. Have to, there's another one. Have to come back out here when it's a little bit less windy. Be able to throw the jerk baits and everything else that are even lighter. We didn't catch one on a jerk bait today, which is arguably probably one of the best baits for this time of the year. Oh, there's another one. Got him. Stay pinned. Not a bad one. They're all looking pretty skinny right now, though. Just pegged in just the roof of the mouth. Probably the biggest one that we've caught today. Skinny though. That's 3 bites and not very many casts. So we'll probably catch a few more with this one, or at least try to, and then come back out another day where we're able to throw some of the other baits a little bit more easily. But clearly this is working right now. And again, the swim baits, I don't think it matters for the most part. I like the pre-molded ones. They seem to come through cover and grass a little bit better, but if you threw on a ball head with a Kitech or something like that, it would work also. We're using the Mega Bass one a little bit earlier today, and now we're using the Berkley Agent E. They all work. I guess I didn't really speak to it much in the beginning of the video, but as far as where you're looking on lakes, obviously North Shore is going to be what warms up and pushes bait, so that's ideal. But even to, you know, localize it even more, trying to find some place that's got relatively close access to a little bit deeper water is going to kind of help you out a little bit even more. So where we're fishing right now is a bit of a bowl, but out here in the, you know, main lake is right about 10-ish feet, and then it which is doesn't seem very deep, but for this pond it's about the deepest spot that it gets, and then it creeps up, or I guess comes up really quickly to the shore. So those deep areas are where fish are going to typically be holding a little bit more during winter, and then having access to shallow water to where it's, you know, warming up is kind of where they want to sit. And we're fishing a rock shore right now, which usually holds fish, and obviously because of the rocks it holds heat and warms up even faster than the rest of the area, so that's why the fish are kind of concentrated over in this area. Oh, that was a good one. Oh, he came off. Oh, shoot. Got him. One bit right out in front. Stay big. Choked it. I have to get the pliers, even though this is a single hook bait. Oh. Another little one. Looks a little bit healthier. Let that one go. Yeah, these aren't always the easiest to unhook, just because of the little monofilament or fluoro or whatever it is, little weed guard that it has on there. Trying to grab hold of it isn't always the easiest, so a pair of pliers makes it much easier. But oh, got that one too. That's a better one. That's a good one. Oh, come on. Nope. That is a good fish, for here at least. Don't come off. Don't come off. Ah, that's a good one for this pond. Probably a 3-pounder. I'm glad we stayed for a couple more, but you can definitely get this with ice out. Just because it's cold and half the lake is frozen doesn't mean you can't get a good fish. There's bigger ones in this lake, but not much. The biggest one I've ever caught out here is 5 pounds, so catch one 3, not too shabby. Let that one go. Maybe we'll make a couple more casts, but we'll have to see. smoked that Agent E. That one's losing its eyes too. The one thing about all these pre-molded swim baits is they all lose their eyes so quickly. I don't think it matters a ton, but for as expensive as they are, you don't want an eye coming off after, you know, 2 or 3 fish. That was a good one though. Wonder how many more of those there are around here. But again, it's on a 2.5-inch bait. It's time of the year they just want something slow and want something small. Got that. How big are you? Ah, not as big as the last one. They're getting bigger though. One absolutely choked it. We might get the pliers for that one. It's just so difficult to grab on to the bait with that weed guard. Yeah, we'll grab a pair of pliers, take a picture and let this one go. All right, get that one unhooked. Let her go. Water's so clear you can see them for quite a ways. Well, they're biting well enough, I might just keep fishing. We can come back and throw some other baits some other day, but this is fun. And we're getting a little bit better fish too. Hopefully we can't get another 3 to 5 pounder. Oh, I missed that one. Didn't sting them, so. Nope. Got that one. Not a big one. Nope, just a little guy. A little fatter one. Barely inside the lip. A little bit fatter. Again, a shorter one, but stocky. One was moving. Not doing too bad for a first day out. Can't ask for much more. I mean, I could get greedy and say I want a 5 pounder, but got that one. There we go. Only lost one of our eyes. It's not a bad one. Well, that is it for today for ice out. I couldn't ask for much more. We caught a decent number of fish and one good fish, especially for this pond. So when fish can be tough, you know, during ice out, I can't ask for much more. Again, in my opinion, you know, best baits you can use are really, really subtle, natural and slow moving baits, you know, especially around this time. But for any of you guys that are new to fishing, hopefully a couple of these tips helped you out, and hopefully you're able to catch a couple more fish. But as always, if you guys like the video, if you wouldn't mind liking, and if you want to see more videos like it, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd be greatly appreciated also. Till the next one.